California Spring Trials is Fashion Week for our industry, or maybe you can think of it like the auto show. A chance to see many of the coolest new products available for upcoming seasons. Dozens of global breeding companies and innovative plant introduction companies set up along the California coast in early spring to showcase new crops that have been in development for years, even decades. New series, additions, upgrades, and sometimes brand new plants are grown out and discussed in detail for the better part of a week to drive interest from visiting growers, retailers, and distribution companies. It's also a time to catch up with old friends, solidify strategic partnerships, and revel in the beauty created by our industry. We've done this for decades and we'll do it again in 2026 from March 24th to 27th. Registration is managed by the National Garden Bureau, and you can sign up to secure your spot at caspringtrials.us. In fact, registration is essential. A quick reminder before we get started. New for this year, if you're visiting a location with more than one exhibiting company, like most of them, registration by location means you register for all companies when you schedule your appointment at caspringtrials.us. But be sure to allocate plenty of time for stops with multiple companies. One click doesn't mean one quick visit. Take, for example, the Head Start Nursery Stop or the Santa Barbara Polo Club. You can register for the location, but you'll need to allocate time for all of the exhibiting companies, and that can mean as many as 100 new varieties. Last but not least, check out the suggested itineraries at caspringtrials.us. If 2026 will be your first time visiting the trials, or you haven't been in a few years, they will be very helpful. Let's hear about some of the things you'll see and experience at Spring Trials this year. I'm your host, Bill Calkins, and today, as part of our Spring Trials preview mini-series, I'm here with Paula Scott and Anik Graves from ThinkPlants to hear about what the group has in store for us this March. It'll be a quick conversation, but hopefully it inspires you to register and start thinking ahead as you plan your crop mix for the future. And the ThinkPlants team has a lot for your crop mix. It is quite a mix. Paula and Anik, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, every trial location is unique, and the trial location for ThinkPlants certainly is as unique as they get. So can you tell the listeners where your group is located and how you would describe the general vibe of the stop and who you're exhibiting with? And if you want to talk a little bit about the theme for the year, that's cool as well.
Great. Thank you, Bill. Well, just like in 2025, we're going to be located at Head Start Nursery. So we share that site with Danziger and this year with Express Seed as well. In previous years, we always were located at Syngenta Flowers, also in Gilroy, California, but we're right down the road at Head Start again this year, and we're really excited for it. We've got a lot of space and a lot of participants. Since we started in 2018, ThinkPlants has grown from 2 participants, Syngenta and Danziger, to 21. So we are constantly pushing ourselves to improve and grow our cast display year over year. And that's kind of our theme for this year is international collaboration in the ThinkPlants family. We will have a lot of participants in our tent. We always have representation from Royal Van Zanten, Capitine, Terra Nova, Heuger, Danziger, Syngenta, Unix, Monrovia, Kiwi Flora, Pan American Seed, Bull, and the list just keeps going on. So there's a lot of people, and yeah, that vibe of family and togetherness.
I like it. And that is pretty much the vibe of Spring Trials, and you guys certainly embody it under in one large space with a lot of different companies, the global atmosphere, representatives from a lot of those companies. And to folks thinking about coming to Spring Trials, if you can't find something to add to your mix in the ThinkPlants tent, you are not doing your job, because there is so much stuff and so much diversity. I think it's absolutely great. So looking back at last year, and this is probably going to be hard with so many companies, so feel free to share as many as you want, but what were some of the big hits from the 2025 trials?
It's certainly hard to pick because for 2025, we had 75 new varieties. Luckily for next year, we only have 50, so we're toning it down a little bit. My personal favorite would probably be Digitalis Dotty series from Syngenta Flowers. It's a seed item, about a third more compact than the Digitalis Camelot. That's the classic on the market. And it's just performed so well, performed well at cast and then in trials over the summer as well. So it's definitely been a standout this year.
That's cool. Paula, how about you? What was a pick or two from 2025?
I think I'd have to go with the Iberis Ariel Pink from Syngenta. It looked really, really good in the Smith trials, Smith Garden trials. And it is the, I guess, the sister of the famous mermaid lavender. It's just kind of a lighter shade. It's really pretty,
First year
great
flowering.
mounting, late spring blooming. It looked really great in the trials.
And I
That's
know
cool.
that Joey, our director's favorite last year was Gaillardia Gusto Orange Zest, which is also performing outstandingly in trials, and definitely had to mention that one here as well.
Excellent and beautiful flowers. I think the growth in perennials is partially driven by the first year flowering and all the new breeding. It's a class, just perennials in general, where I think the breeding is so intentional, and the products coming to market truly are upgrades. They're not just added on to series or Me Too's. They are truly, truly different. So thank you so much for calling those out. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about what it takes to put on an event like this, especially with the diversity of material you guys are bringing in, all the different forms? I got to believe just organizing the plant material is like a full-time job. But then talk a little bit about what the team does to get ready for spring trials, maybe when you start, and most importantly, what attendees will gain from visiting the ThinkPlants site.
We've been in it pretty good for a couple of months now. It takes quite a long time to get it all together. We're really a small team, and we do every aspect of it. Creating, like, we don't have an outside agency or anything like that. So all the ideas, bringing it to life, doing all the designs, and then setting up all the flowers, the tents, we all work together really good, and we can bring it all together, but definitely takes a long time. We're usually out there for, I don't know, maybe like a total of 10 days from start to finish, including the days that people are visiting. It's just a lot of work, but we're really dedicated to pulling off the event every year, and we'd love to show everyone what we're going to be presenting this year. And we do have a lot of flowers in the tent. It's hard every year trying to fit everyone in and give everyone equal space and representation, but I think we do a good job of it.
Yeah, we have the same small team doing the designing, packing our hard goods, setting up, presenting, then tearing down. By the time we finish our 4 to 5 days of setup, we have to remember to rest a little bit so that we have any energy left for the first day of cast. We're already wiped by the time the event starts.
Yeah, we learned our lesson last year. We gave ourselves like an afternoon off, and that really helped.
Definitely, definitely. You do need a little bit of downtime just to prepare to welcome, more than 1,000 people who are coming and want to see that energy. So I've been on that side of the equation. I know what it takes. I know how hard the teams work, and it's certainly appreciated. I'll tell you that much. All the hard work, sourcing the material, putting it out on display. I've been on the marketing side. I know what your team's doing, and I think that yes, it is understated the way that you talked about it, because I know how much work that the teams put in. So thank you so much.
Yeah. So for anybody listening who visits us on the last open day of cast, if you like our presentation, just remember we've been going at it for 9 days already, and we are giving you everything we've got. The next day, we sleep for about 3 days after we get home.
Fueled by coffee and beautiful flowers. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah, but you mentioned logistics. Because we have grow outs from so many different participants, we can't grow all of the genetics in the same way. So we have grow outs coming from Oregon, from Ohio, from Canada. All of our hydrangeas are grown by the Creekside Greenhouse specialists in Ontario and shipped all the way across the continent. And we have plants grown in California. So the logistics of getting all those plants to finish at peak and be delivered during setup at the right time so they're not in our way is almost a full-time job in itself, that month leading up to cast. And then if we want to do a liner display, then we've got our 7 or so ThinkPlants rooting stations, James greenhouses, Linwell, DeVry, Head Start is luckily on site for that one. It is a very big job.
Absolutely, and totally worth it when you get to see the plants and visit the site. I think, yeah, kudos to the whole team. I know it takes a lot of people, a lot of greenhouses involved. And what you guys do is no easy task. But the question that everyone tunes in for, I think, is just get a little sneak peek, a little taste of what to expect at the trials. So, can you shout out a few of the new varieties that the ThinkPlants team is most excited to showcase in March in 2026, or some sneak previews? What have you seen? What have you heard about that's going to be really, really exciting this coming year?
Well, like I mentioned, we have 50 new varieties for 26. So we're going to try to show as many of them at Cast as we can. A few things that always look good then is our hellebore. We have a few new ones from Hoiger, the Ice and Roses, Rosalie, and Purple Sunrise. So we expect those to be looking really good. We've got a new intro from Pan American Seed for the first time in a few years, the Heucheret, pink and red. So those are heuchera from seed that are bred for their flowers in a very compact foliage size. Paula, do you have a couple favorites?
I think the Bellis Bam Bam, the white blush, is a fun new addition. We've also got the Echinacea Panama Yellow and also Neon Pink, so those should be fun to see in person. Everyone loves the Panama Red.
And
Well,
then
those
probably,
No, go ahead.
probably one of our brighter additions for next year will be the new Erissimum from Syngenta. We've got Tricolor Improved, Irresistible Tricolor Improved, and Super Bowl Apricot.
Wow, that is a good range. I do like seeing hellebores at spring trials. It's not often, I think, in our industry, because you're not seeing them at Summerfield trials, but in spring trials in March, they tend to look absolutely beautiful. And that was one of the things I really remember from your display last year, were the hellebores, and certainly some of the other flowering perennials, just absolutely beautiful. Well, this really sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to your trial in March. Paula and Anik, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us, Bill.
Absolutely. And now's the time to head over to the National Garden Bureau registration site at caspringtrials.us. You will find a link in the show notes. Get registered. Bring a bunch of people from your team to ThinkPlants, because everyone has a different eye. Everyone's going to find something cool, I guarantee it. And you'll bring back a whole bunch for your mix in 2026 and beyond. And don't forget to subscribe to the Tech on Demand podcast on your favorite app. That way you will never miss an episode.